You said in the past that the last flood was water and that the next one is information. Could you extrapolate on that?
Well, I heard that when I began working on the hieroglyph of the human soul, and it always intrigued me because it said that the last flood was water, this one's information. And over the years, I've begun to understand that quite deeply, is that we are in a time of chaos, in a time of great confusion, in a time where everything is on overwhelm, a time of great excess and exaggeration. And the question is, well, what is real? What's not real? What do I pay attention to? How do I know what to put my faith in when everything seems to be either lying or false or full of mischief? What do I trust? And this is when we start to understand that what we're doing is cultivating a mental martial art, meaning that one cannot do anything against the storm. One cannot do anything against too much information. One has to look at it as the environment. How do I navigate all of this information? And how do I discern what is real and what is only actual? Meaning everything is actual, everything's upon us. But the question is, what do I pay attention to? Because the deeper truth is, what we pay attention to pays attention to us. And if we pay attention to what we fear pays attention to us. It's a bit like a sea captain. If you begin to pay attention to the storm that is coming upon you and you take it personally, you become afraid of it. You don't trust your navigational skills, saying, I've seen this before, not the same thing, but I've been in difficult and chaotic conditions. So what do? I take a deep breath. I center myself. I don't allow myself to be flung overboard into the ocean. I grab the wheel and begin to understand I must take charge of how I am going to choose a course through these difficult passages. And that's where we are at. And that's why I believe that what is happening is so important, because it's driving us back home. When the world betrays us, when religion betrays us, when science betrays us, and I mean this in a very general sense. In other words, when they don't live up to the grand ideal, we can solve all of your problems. But we realize that they are part and parcel of the problem, meaning they're part of a general way of seeing things and trying to fix things. And so the flood being information this time is pulling us back to become modern Noahs, meaning that what we love, what we know, and the world as we see it is our ark. And the ark is not something that needs to be defended against the water. It needs to be created with greater and greater coherence, because if we begin to say, here, this I love, this I defend, this is where I am, and so it, like a tree, connects me to my roots. I will not leave my roots. I will stand strong and trust as the weather passes that my roots will go deeper. My sense of strength, my sense of story will become more intimate, and I will move away from blaming others or the world, blaming history and what got us here, and I'll realize that we are here. We have finally begun to understand that the world is awash with information, awash with distraction, awash with things that make us angry and make us very concerned. But the question is, are you being taken out of your roots? Are you being taken away from where you live and what you love? Because if you are following something that is distracting you. So the question is, how do I ask that one question myself? Am I dealing from where I love or where I fear? And we must remember that the greatest daring of being human is our willingness to be born. That is heroic and shows a fearlessness that is remarkable. So if you trust your birth, your willingness to be alive, realize there's a great power, a great fury that says, I'm worth it, and I will stand and I will discover what nourishes my roots. Even if the world is in a state of chaos, I will use it as a fuel to anchor me and to bring me home. So that's what I look at, this sense of this flood is information. But we're becoming Noahs, so trust your ability to navigate, but do it from where you love. Thank you.